have been completed, and the election campaign came to an end at 8 this morning. The Election Commission has been sending ballot papers and other necessary things, including stamp pad, official seal and indelible ink to every district for holding the election smoothly. More than 1,800 candidates are contesting in the 11th parliamentary elections for 299 parliamentary seats across the country. A total of 1,23 lakh new voters will exercise their franchise at 2,06,477 polling booths of the 40,183 voting centres across the country on 30th December, the day after tomorrow. The polling will start at 8 in the morning on Sunday and will continue up to 4 in the afternoon uninterruptedly. Chief Election Commissioner K.M. Nurul Huda has said the 11th general election will be held in a festive mood. He called upon the members of law enforcement agencies to ensure overall security so that people can cast their votes in a free, fair and festive atmosphere on 30th December national election. The CEC came up with the call while talking to reporters at the Nirbachan Bhavan in Dhaka today. The Chief Election Commissioner hopes that the law enforcers would ensure security so that the people cast vote freely to the desired candidates and return home safely. He also drew attention of the law enforcement agencies to ensure security, especially to the people of minority communities during the voting. Election Commission Secretary Hilaluddin Ahmed has said national election will be held in a fair and peaceful environment throughout the country. There is no fear in this regard. He said this while briefing the journalists at Nirbachan Bhavan in the capital this evening. The EC Secretary said without Election Commission permission, no motor vehicle will ply on the election day. It will be relaxed for the law enforcing agencies and different other agencies, he added. About using mobile phone in the voting centres, Election Commission Secretary said only the presiding officers and police officers on duty can use mobile phones inside the voting centres. Hilaluddin Ahmed informed that voters will find out the voting areas, voting centres and centres number through SMS, and the service will begin tomorrow.
Restriction has been imposed on holding any kind of meetings, gatherings and processions from 48 hours before starting of the voting and 48 hours after the ending of the voting in the general election to be held on December 30. According to the Section 78 of the Representation of the People Order 1972, such ban will remain enforced from 8 a.m. today to 4 p.m. on January 1 next. During this period, no one will be able to commit any ferocious act or indisciplined behavior. He or she will not be able to scare the voters or the people concerned. Besides, none will be able to show arms or exercise muscle power during this period. If anyone violates the rules, he or she will have to suffer maximum 7 years or minimum 2 years in prison and fine. Meanwhile, on the occasion of 11th national election, the Election Commission imposed a general bar on all types of motor vehicles commencing Saturday midnight till Sunday midnight. Besides, restriction has been imposed on motorcycles for 4 days from today midnight to 1st January midnight. The ban will be relaxed for the candidates, their agents, local and foreign observers, with having approvals of the returning officers. The ban will also be relaxed for the media vehicles to be used for local and foreign newsmen on condition for having their ID cards, it said. Besides the vehicles of the officials who will be engaged in election duties, law enforcement agencies, ambulances, fire service and civil defense, electricity, gas and telecom will be kept out of the purview of the ban. The Home and Information Ministries have been asked to take necessary steps to enforce the ban to make the efforts successful. Countdown for the 11th Parliament election has begun as polling is scheduled on Sunday next. Voters will cast their votes to select desired candidates. Election campaign of the political parties has ended already. Earlier, Awami League, Oiko Front, Jukto Front and other political parties declared their respective election manifestos. voters are now analyzing critically the manifestos of different political parties with their estimation and aspirations. According to the analysts, Awami League has implemented almost every part of their 2008 election manifesto. Their current election manifesto has more to attract people. If this election manifesto is implemented like before, then the development scenario of the country and the fortune of the mass will definitely change. Awami League General Secretary Ubaidul Qadir has said all conspiracies to foil the upcoming election will fail. He said this while visiting newly built Choto Dholi Bridge on Jolarganj Road in Noakhali today. Ubaidul Qadir said pre-election violence across the country is lower than any other time and hence there is no worry. Replying to a question, he said Dr. Kamal Hussein's position about Jamaat candidates is not acceptable as it happened in broad daylight. The speech proved that Dr. Kamal is either a blind person or a self-seeker. Expressing concern over conspiracies of violence on voting day, Ubaidul Qadir said public consciousness and a strong position of law enforcing agencies and members of the armed forces played a vital role in maintaining a congenial environment.
Jashud President Hassanul Haqqino has said Dr. Kamal Hussain and a number of freedom fighters and intellectuals will go down in the history's black chapter as the cohorts of notorious BNP Jamaat culprits. He said, time is not out yet and Dr. Kamal and the freedom fighters and intellectuals who sided with the BNP Jamaat can dump them and return to the people's side. He made the remarks at his residence in Kushtia's Bharamara today. Later, Jashud President Hassanul Haqqino took part in the janaza of Muktamona online activist Nayyar Iqbal, a resident of Kacharipara under Bharamara Upazila. Hassanul Haqqino also expressed condolence to the family members of the deceased. Oikofront candidate for Kushtia 2 constituency Ahsan Habib Lincoln also attended the janaza. Candidates with boat and Shefa Paddy held a friendly discussion after the janaza. Jatiyo Oikofront Chief Dr. Kamal Hussain expressed regret about going to the polls with the fundamentalist force. Dr. Kamal Hussain also said that BNP's decision to field candidates from the war crimes accused fundamentalist party Jamaat Islami was stupid. The Indian newspaper named Indian Express quoted Dr. Kamal as saying in a report published on Thursday that Dr. Kamal had given it in writing that there would be no support to Jamaat, no bringing in religion, fundamentalism and extremism. Dr. Kamal told the Indian Express that had he known that Jamaat leaders would be given BNP tickets, he would not have been part of it. But he would not stay a single day if these people have any role in the future government. Bangladesh Air Force is going to replace its contingent at the United Nations peacekeeping mission in the Republic of Mali, MINUSMA. As a part of this replacement, 110 Air Force members will leave Dhaka for Mali by UN chartered aircraft at 12:30 a.m. tonight. Group Captain Mohammad Mamun Rashid will lead the contingent of Bangladesh Air Force, which is going to be deployed in Mali. Special munajat was offered prior to the departure for Mali at the departure lounge of Hazrat Shah Jalal International Airport, seeking excellence of the contingent in future. Earlier, Chief of Air Staff Air Chief Marshal Masir Zaman Sarniabad briefed the contingent members on 24 December 2018 and took part in a special munajat for success of the mission.
And now international news. Saudi Arabia's King Salman has appointed a new foreign minister as part of a major cabinet reshuffle. A royal decree on Wednesday demoted outgoing chief diplomat Adil Al-Jubair to the position of Minister of State for Foreign Affairs and named Ibrahim Al-Asaf as his replacement. A former finance minister, Al-Asaf, has among dozens of royal family members, government officials and top businessmen detained during an anti-corruption purge in November 2017 that Prince Mohammed had engineered. Thursday's shake-up is the first since the October 2 killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi in the kingdom's consulate in the Turkish city of Istanbul by a Saudi hit squad. Other notable cabinet changes include the appointment of Prince Abdullah bin Bandar bin Abdulaziz as Chief of National Guard, replacing Prince Miteb bin Abdullah. General Khalid bin Qirar al-Harbi was also named General Security Chief, while Mushahid al-Aiban was appointed National Security Advisor. China has successfully tested the advanced S-400 air defense system imported from Russia, for which India also signed up recently, despite concerns over a threat of sanctions from the US. It was the first time that the People's Liberation Army (PLA) tested the system since it received the last shipments of the weaponry from Russia in July under a $3 billion contract signed in 2015. China's People's Liberation Army Rocket Force last month tested the S-400 Triumph air defense system successfully, shooting down a simulated ballistic target almost 250 km away and moving at the supersonic speed of 3 km per second. Almost 1,000 North Korean defectors have had their personal data leaked after a computer at a South Korean resettlement center was hacked. A personal computer at the state-run center was found to have been infected with a malicious code. The ministry said this is thought to be the first large-scale information leak involving North Korean defectors. Analysts say there are some concerns that the leak could endanger the defectors' family members who remain in North Korea.
Now news on sports. South Africa beat Pakistan by 6 wickets in the Centurion Test with 2 days remaining in the hand today. With this victory, the Proteas is leading the 3-match series by 1-0. Chasing the victory target of 149 runs, South Africa reached the target for 4 and scored 151 runs. Earlier, Pakistan were all out on 190 runs in the second innings and 181 runs in the first innings. South Africa scored 223 runs in the first innings. Tuan Olivier of South Africa was adjudged man of the match for taking 11 wickets in this test. India is leading by 346 runs against Australia at stumps of day 3 in the Boxing Day Test in Melbourne today. India scored 54 runs for 5 at the end of the day in the second innings. Earlier, Australia started the third day's batting with overnight score of 8 runs without any loss. The Aussies were all out 151 runs in the first innings. Jasprit Bumrah took 6 wickets for India. India declared the first innings on 443 runs for 7 wickets. The 4-match test series is levelling by 1-1. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka scored 24 runs for 2, chasing the victory target of 660 runs against New Zealand at stumps of day 3 in the Christchurch Test. The Lankans need another 636 runs more to win this test, while they have 2 days remaining. New Zealand started the third day's batting with overnight score of 231 runs for 2 today. The Kiwis declared the second innings on 585 runs for 4. Sri Lanka scored 104 runs in the first innings in reply to New Zealand's 178 runs. And now to end the bulletin, a recap of the top stories. Nation awaits polling as campaign for 11th Parliament election ends. Election Commission fully prepared for Sunday's polls. Chief Election Commissioner urges voters to cast ballots freely in a festive atmosphere, directs the law enforcers to maintain and ensure law and order. No need to worry over election, as any conspiracy against the polls will not succeed, says Obaidul Qadir. King Salman brings major changes to Saudi cabinet in the backdrop of international pressure. And in Centurion, South Africa beat Pakistan by 6 wickets in the first of 3 Test series.
And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us. Our next bulletin is coming up at 11:30 in Bangla. Until then, Khuda Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz.